Jaylen Brown enters this game with consecutive double-doubles for the first time in his career. The Celtics are a 2.5-point favorite. At 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, the Mavs visit the Bucks in a matchup between two of the MVP favorites. Caesars William Hill has Luka Doncic at a 4-1 favorite to win the MVP honors this season. With Giannis right behind him, the Bucks are favored in this one by 7.5. And at 10 Eastern on ESPN, it's the third meeting between former number one picks LeBron James and Zion Williamson. Can't wait. The Lakers are 9.5-point favorite in that nightcap.
Big showdown. Let's bring in Dave McMenamin joining us live from Staples Center tonight here on SportsCenter. Dave, Anthony Davis called out his team's defense a week ago in a loss to the Spurs. What kind of impact did AD's message have on this team?
Kevin, it was a pivotal moment in the early going for these Lakers because since that game and that loss to the Spurs, they've gone 4-0. They're holding teams at 43% from the field overall, 31% from three. They've limited their half-court defense, lowering that number by about 8 points per game. And Anthony's averaging 3 blocks per game in that span. So really, this is a part of the progression of the Lakers as this team, but also Anthony Davis as a leader and being a more vocal member of this team. Anytime you're on a team with LeBron James, he's going to be the guy that sucks all the air out of the room. But Anthony Davis is carving out a spot for himself to be an important voice with this team.
Okay, now let's go to the other side. Zion Williamson, he missed Wednesday's game after an inconclusive COVID-19 test. Expected to play tonight. Now, the second-year star is averaging over 17 points per game in the paint. No one has scored more there in the league. How do the Pelicans feel about his growth this season?
Kevin, I was speaking to Pelicans president David Griffin yesterday. He told me that the next step in Zion's progression has to be his playmaking ability. He averaged about 2 assists per game as a rookie. That number's down to 1.3 this year. And some of that has been trying to get accustomed to the new offensive schemes that new coach Stan Van Gundy is implementing. But the team and Stan Van Gundy is getting more and more comfortable with Zion getting the ball in his hands, putting it on the floor, becoming a playmaker. And Griff tells me that behind closed doors in practices as of late, you've seen him taking the ball, going full court, and making some spectacular dishes. So that's the type of thing we want to see from Zion as he becomes not just a scorer, not just a guy who finishes around the rim, but someone who can read the entire defense.
We did a segment from Staples Center about the Lakers and the Pelicans, and we didn't even bring up LeBron. By the way, LeBron playing the fewest minutes of his career, averaging 24 points per game, and the Lakers still boast the best record in the league. Dave, have some fun tonight, 10 p.m. right here on ESPN. It is our
dare to win 3 straight MVP awards. If he does that, he'll join Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. Talk about good company. And he was start off a little bit slow, turning it on as of late. And we will see how it works out tonight against the Mavs. And Jeff Van Gundy will be on the call for that game, Mavs-Bucks tonight. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us. Jeff, we just mentioned it. Giannis wasn't really in MVP form earlier this season. He seems to have really turned things around lately as the Bucks have won 6 of their last 7. What's changed?
Well, he's just playing, normal Giannis basketball, efficient, attacking, tenacious, and he's getting to the basket, and he's not getting to the basket as much as he has, but he still is surrounded by such great shooting that he has driving lanes. He and Chris Middleton are just playing terrific basketball right now.
Lights out, 29.3 per game in his last 6 or so. And I'll tell you what, normal Giannis basketball is MVP level. Now, as for his competition for MVP, so say some people, Luka Doncic, he acknowledged that he had a slow start to the season. He said his conditioning needed to improve a little bit. What are you seeing out of him now?
Well, he's one of the greatest offensive forces in the game today. His ability with that body size, vision, and ability to finish around the rim, he's just a dynamic pick and roll player. He gets anywhere he wants on the floor. If you trap him, he can pick you apart with the pass that leads to the pass, that leads to the hoop. And then when he shoots it like he did last game from 3, he's 5 for 9 from 3, then you have absolutely no hope. His 3 ball is the shot that's inconsistent right now. As he gets more and more consistent from there, I don't know how you guard him or them, because Dallas has done a terrific job, just like Milwaukee has, in surrounding their best player with a lot of offensive firepower and shooting.
Wow, two incredible stars, possible MVP candidates, taking each other on. That one comes your way. 7:30 in the NFL. We've got you covered from every location, starting with Sal Pal in New Orleans.
Brady versus Breeze has grabbed all the attention in this game, but the real story is Brady against the Saints defense. Losing twice to the Saints this year by 46 points combined, Brady has constantly been under pressure. A matter of fact, in the two games, Brady was under pressure 36% of the time. That's more than twice he was under pressure in all other games this season. Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Bucs, his message to the team at the beginning of the week is very simple. We got to do a much better job blocking them. A much better job.
Aaron Rodgers spoke this week about how much more confident the Packers are than they were in last year's playoffs. Green Bay had the league's most efficient offense in Matt LaFleur's second season as head coach, and Rodgers is almost certain to be the league's MVP. LaFleur told me Rodgers understands everything to a higher level just because he's had more reps, and he said his ability, when he sees something out there, to get us out of a bad look and into a good play is second to none. Rodgers has to beat the Rams and their top-ranked defense to get to his fifth NFC Championship game as he continues his pursuit of that elusive second Super Bowl.
Get ready to see a completely different Bills offense this time around against the Ravens compared to what you saw in 2019. This, according to left tackle Deion Dawkins. He told me last year they didn't have their superstar weapon, that being Stephon Diggs. But of course, this Ravens defense, they are well aware what Diggs can do. Marlon Humphrey is expected to match up against him in man-to-man coverage. The big story, though, is it could possibly snow in Buffalo on Saturday night. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson admitting he's never played in the snow, and he certainly doesn't want his first experience being this weekend in the divisional round.
As if the defending Super Bowl champs weren't scary enough, Patrick Mahomes says that he feels more prepared this year to handle a bye heading into the division round than he did a season ago. Now, if you recall, the Chiefs went down 21-0 against the Texans last year before storming back. Mahomes says that he's practiced far more during the bye week, focusing on things like fundamentals and footwork to make sure they avoid a slow start. Now, the Chiefs don't feel complacent at all, which is probably good news for a Kansas City team that won their last 6 regular season games by only 1 possession.
Time to make some playoff picks, and Purple Rain is back. Great to see RC once again on the Sports Center.
I love that movie, by the way.
A very good movie. Let's start in Buffalo here, where the Bills host the Ravens as both quarterbacks are coming off their first playoff win. Which team advances in your mind?
You know what? I'm sorry, Bills Mafia, but this purple is for a reason. I'm going with the Ravens. I'm looking at this run game. The way to attack the Buffalo Bills defense is to run the football. Last week, the Indianapolis Colts averaged over 5 yards a carry, and that's with Phillip Rivers at quarterback, who you know's not running the football. And also defensively, you mentioned Marlon Humphrey earlier. We obviously know Marcus Peters is on the other side. They can be multiple on the back end and do their best to confuse Josh Allen on the front end.
Okay, as for the defending Super Bowl champs, those Chiefs, they host the Browns. Who moves on to the AFC title game?
Listen, I'm not going to be cute here. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, and I believe that this game will stay close. The Cleveland Browns have the ability to run the football. That keeps Patrick Mahomes off the field. But I listen to people talk about him practicing more during the bye week, understanding that coming from behind the way they had to in playoff games last year is not the way they want to start. And they know the Cleveland Browns have confidence. They know they're coming in cocky and arrogant, believing that they can win. So they're going to start early. They're going to start fast. And I expect Patrick Mahomes to be the best version of himself. And when he is that, the Kansas City Chiefs are unbeatable.
Good news for the Browns, though. Starting guard Joe Bitonio activated off the COVID list. That's a big boost for that running attack.